Well, I think I figured it out. Um, I don't even know what this recording would be for, honestly. I would just kind of sit here and yap, cause I really don't have much to say. It's 2:31 a.m. I'm still trying hard to, I guess, kind of figure out where I want my life to go. Um, yeah, that seems to be like a constant battle that I'm always in, where I kind of don't see myself in the future, I guess. Um, I guess there's just always like something holding me back. Um, whether it's the whole, oh, this isn't for me, like, will it work out? Oh, I have to go the original route that I don't really want to go down. Um, like the whole school going to college thing. Well, I'm very interested in doing things in terms of, I guess, like psychology, figuring out how to become, I guess, someone like a therapist or something in that field. I always think to myself, it would be really cool to become a therapist and help and guide people through their problems, their emotions, but I don't even know where I'm at myself. And obviously, you know, that's what school is for. School is for that specific, it's to teach you how to handle those things. And yes, it's a very interesting thing to me. Like, I would love to do it. I absolutely do not love school whatsoever. Um, it really isn't a place for me to be because I just cannot sit in a room and listen to someone talk and talk and talk about things that just don't interest me, you know? And if school was just, yeah, you go and study psychology and study the human mind and study other people's emotions and all of this, it would be extremely interesting and I would absolutely love to go. But I can't, I know that if I go, I'll have to take a lot of classes that are unnecessary, um, spend a lot of unnecessary time on things that I just don't want to spend time on. Um, and it's not really a passion for me. Because, yes, it would be very interesting to just kind of, you know, be able to hear people's lives, stories, and be able to see what kind of person they are, um, see how I can help them, or even just lend them my shoulder, my ears, whatever, just to listen to their problems so they can feel better. I've always had this feeling like that is my purpose, to kind of talk to people and listen to their problems. If they need guidance, then I will try my best to guide them. Because I spend a lot of time in my own head too, trying to figure out my own issues and my own problems, like I am now, where I I don't know where my life is going. I really don't. I'm only 21, and everybody says that at 21 you're still young. Like, don't be in a rush to be successful. Don't be in a rush to make money. Don't be in a rush to find your path, or whatever they want to say. And while yes, that is true for some, I feel like for me, I've always had this feeling that my time is very limited. That's not to say that I'm gonna die in like a month or whatever, or in a couple years even. I truly believe that I'll be able to live a couple decades more and enjoy my life and stuff. But for me, it just kind of feels like I'm stuck. Um, you know, Through my entire 20s after I graduated high school, I kind of lost. Well, it's not that I even had anything to begin with, because high school was just detrimental to me, and it really, high school didn't really do much for me. Um, well, yeah, I graduated and all that, whatever, but it just kind of felt like the biggest waste of time ever, because I believe that I am I'm a smart person. Not to say that, not to be full of myself or anything, but I think I guess well informed on things, and I'm not dumb by any means. I'll say that I'm not dumb, but I think that high school just made me feel like I was. Like, my grades kind of reflected my intelligence, which wasn't the case, but it's kind of how I've always felt. And because of that, I guess I don't know what I can do. I never developed any skills in high school, um, or really at all, uh, to say that I could use those skills for the future or anything. And again, like I said, I'm only 21, so maybe I will develop skills later on. But once I turned 20, it just became sort of more detrimental to me to kind of see to the future and look at the past, and just think to myself, like, what have I accomplished in 20 years of my life, Yeah, I guess I only started living at like the age of 10 or whatever, but what have I done that I could say, like, oh yeah, that was really good. Like, I've gone through my fair share of experiences, and I've learned to grow. I've learned to become a better person, and I've learned a lot of things that you learn as a human being. But nothing of it has really been exceptional. I think the only thing I would say is my level of maturity and understanding is kind of a little higher than some people. Again, not saying that I'm better than anyone, but I take a look around, and a lot of these people that I guess surround myself with sometimes, they all kind of lack this intuition, or this feeling of that they don't understand themselves. And I don't understand myself either, but I think I can at least comprehend what exactly I'm doing and I'm saying, or things like that. And a lot of people just don't have that. So in that aspect, I think I guess I learned something, and I am good at it. But it's nothing exceptional, and that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. You know, well, I don't know where I want my life to be in a couple years. Um, I do know that I would love to retire my family and become successful and build a career out of something, and make that career my passion, you know, be financially free, get my life sorted out in those type of ways. But all of that is superficial. Um, Because, yes, everybody has sort of the same goal. Who wouldn't want to be financially free? Who wouldn't want to be able to retire their parents at an early age or whatever, right? But the thing that I guess haunts me is, I'm 21. I've got 9 more years until I'm 30. How am I gonna get to that financial freedom? How am I gonna get to that point in life in which I can no longer worry about money, that I can finally live my life? Um, I've only been working for, I would say, 2 years, all combined 2 years, I would say. And recently, me getting injured at work and having to take months off of work, it kind of made me sit back and just think, like, what ways could I make money? And again, money isn't everything for me. It really isn't. I have a girlfriend, and I want to prioritize my relationship with her because it's been rocky, which that could be a topic for another time. But I have things that I want to prioritize other than money. But money is the buyer of freedom. Without money, you're always locked in the same spot, in the same cycle of going to work, maybe doing something else like going to the gym, and then eating, sleeping, going back to work. It's the same repeating cycle. And I don't want to be stuck on that for the next 9 years either. Um, I really want to just do something for myself and achieve something that will really, I guess, help me find purpose. And so far, one of the things that has stood out to me the most is kind of going to college and being a therapist, or studying to be a therapist, I should say. And yeah, it's something that I just love doing, which is kind of why I'm talking right now. I have a lot of things written down, I have a lot of scripts that I could talk about, but I really don't think that's the best thing to go with. Um, I think I should be a little more genuine, not just write everything out. But yeah, I'm at a point in life in which I want to find my purpose now. You know, the last 20 years, I've been under, I guess, my mom's wing, my mother's wing, and she's taking care of me. I'm now responsible for myself, and I have bills to pay. I have a lot of things to do for myself now, and I kind of don't want to burden anyone else with my presence. I really don't. And that is the reason why I want financial freedom. It's because once I'm able to afford that freedom, nobody else has to take care of me. There is absolutely nothing somebody will have to do to take care of me, unless, of course, I get sick or something happens. But, you know, those are all kind of hypotheticals. But I think the thing that's facing me right now, or I'm facing, is kind of just hardship within myself to find that purpose. And I've got a lot of time ahead of me, but I don't want to wait all that time anymore. I hear a lot, these influencers always say, all over social media, they're always talking about, you know, follow your dreams, follow your passions. If you want to start something, just do it. If you have something you want to do, or if you get an idea, just go through with it. Blah blah blah. It's always starting, right? And that's, of course, the best thing you can do is start. But I'm at a point in which I'm asking myself, what do I start? How do I start? Everybody goes through this, and I'm sure if you come across this someday, you will too. Um, Everybody goes through that point in which they have to figure out what and how to start something, or regardless of what it is, whether you want to join a sport, or whether you want to create videos, or whether you want to, go to college or whatever. You have to start somewhere all the time. And I guess for me, even though yes, I want to be able to go to college and all that, I'm not at a point in which I can even afford it. Um, so that idea to me is kind of far behind now. Well, yes, I want to go to college someday, but not not now. I don't think now is the best time for me at all. I think I really want to find purpose in doing something. I guess, like I'm creating this video for a reason. Maybe this is my start, who knows? But I really want to start something, and it's not easy to begin when you don't know what, where, or how. Um, I don't know where my life is going to lead. I'm in a relationship, and I really want things to work out in this relationship because, you know, what else would I want other than to find my lifelong partner at such a young age? Who wouldn't want that, of course? But where is my purpose? What is my purpose? Um, I think back about, a couple years back when I was maybe, I'd say 13, 14, even 16, let's say. Um, and I really didn't care about all these things. Um, I would just hop on a game and play with my friends and stuff. And I had no desire to look at my future. It wasn't in my mind all the time. It really wasn't. This all became an issue once I turned like 20, and I had to find my first job. And not my first job, I had worked jobs before, but I had to find my first real stable job. um, and that's kind of where it hit me, where I don't want to be stuck in this cycle anymore of just getting up, going to work, maybe going to the gym and coming home, play some video games, go to sleep. It's the same cycle. I really don't want to be stuck in that. And I know, it's only been a year, so you can say whatever you want, but no one wants to be stuck in the same loop, for a long time. Regardless if it's months or weeks or anything, nobody wants to be stuck in the same exact loop. It's draining, and it really drains you. So, when I look at people's lives that are way older than me, I often think people often say, um, go to work. Like, your purpose is going to work, or whatever, making money, make sure that you're staying on top of your bills or whatever. And this is all that those people know. My brother has, I guess, his boss is around 80 something now, in his 80s, really old guy. And all he's ever done in his entire life is work. He works and works every single day, and he doesn't know anything but work. he recently told my brother, that he went to the doctors and the doctors told him that he's basically at the end of his life. He's going to die soon. And this man can't even walk from the job site to his car anymore by himself. My brother has to carry him to his car, you know. And I hear these stories and I just think, holy shit. Like, this man has worked every single day of his life. He doesn't know anything but work. Anything but work. So, thinking of myself as somebody that lives that kind of life is just so, it's worse than death, I think. Because you're stuck in a loop for decades of your life. All you know is one thing. One thing is the only thing that gives your life purpose. And even while you're dying, it's the only thing you want to do. And it just blows my mind that, there are people out there who, and no shame to them at all, but there are people out there who have genuinely lived every single day of their lives working, not knowing anything but work. And it really sucks, to hear those stories, because you wonder, and I'm sure they wonder as well, as what they could have done with all that time that they had. In those 80 or so years that man had lived, or has lived, I should say, he could have, done so many things, traveled the world, spent 2 years even just traveling from place to place, and really putting himself and giving himself experiences in which on his deathbed he'll be able to say, oh, I'm glad I did that, or oh, I'm glad I met these people, or I'm glad I put myself through that. But it really seems like this guy has absolutely none of that. He's been working for 80 something years now, or I guess I could say 70 years, but even then it's decades of work, and he lives in a trailer park, in a trailer with no money. He can't afford health insurance. He can't afford all these things that could potentially give him a little longer to live and experience those things that he never experienced. So, when I hear stories like that, I'm only 21, but he probably thought the same thing at some point as well. He probably thought, I'm only 21. I've got many years ahead of me. I'll work for now and worry about tomorrow later. It's hard to put myself in their shoes, because I don't want to live that life. I don't want to say, I'll wait until I'm 25. Or, I'll wait a couple more years or anything. But I have been doing that. I have been. Even though I really don't want to. Not knowing where to start, not knowing how to start, has made me kind of sit there and think about, waiting a couple more years, because in a couple more years something will pop up, some event in my life will change, and that'll set me on the path that I need to go down on. But again, this man probably thought the same thing. He probably thought to himself, in a couple years something will happen. In a couple years this will change the course of my life, hopefully, and I'll be going down a different path, the path that I really want to go down on. But that moment never came. So now he's working every day of his life, waiting for the day that he no longer has to work because he's dead. And that is traumatizing, I think. I can't, nor do I want to sit in my deathbed and think about what I couldn't or didn't do. You know, I've been blessed enough to not have to experience too many hardships. I've never gone through any point in life in which I was close to death. Um, you know, I haven't had anybody in my life pass away yet. Um, or at least that were close to me or anything. So, my life's been kind of smooth. And yet, I feel like the average person. I feel like my life isn't going anywhere. I want to count my blessings and I want to count how many things I've been through that I could be grateful for and stuff. But, you know, as grateful as I am for them, I'm not doing anything with those blessings. I am not. Nothing in my life is happening. I haven't done something to say like I'm really glad that that happened in order to get me here. Other than the common things like, you know, hardships in relationships and stuff, you know, all that. But yeah, this is just a rant, really. I'll probably have many more to talk about, more interesting ones and more, I guess, intriguing ones that I'll probably upload. I guess I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna upload this however it is to whoever it lands on. I don't really care. I don't really mind. Um, I guess that's kind of what this whole thing is about. Is just doing it. I guess is what everybody says. Just do something. Just start somewhere. So I'm trying this out. You know, if you see it and it lands on your algorithm or wherever you see this, you know, I hope at least it can reach somebody's ears and they can just listen to this and think to themselves like, you know, I'm not the only one going through this. Because, you know, I've surrounded myself with a lot of people, but not or almost nobody has expressed this type of feeling to me for me to feel like I'm not the only one going through it. And it sucks because while I wouldn't wish these feelings on anybody, I really wouldn't. You know, I really would wish everybody could find their purpose early on in life and figure shit out and figure everything out right away. It would be nice to have somebody tell me, you know, or at least talk to me the way I'm talking right now, and for me to be able to resonate with that in a way and be able to connect with that type of feeling. But nobody really does, you know. So if you're also somebody that, you know, is in the same position, in the same boat, but your boat is sinking, or at least you feel like it is, you know, You're not the only one. I hope that that can bring some peace to somebody. Um, and hearing that would, I think, bring peace to myself as well. That life isn't perfect for people. Obviously, I know it isn't perfect for people. I really know it isn't. Um, Everybody has their hardships. But it's not until you hear personal stories, it's not until you hear certain people say their experiences that you kind of resonate with that person. You kind of, you know, you finally get this feeling of understanding, like somebody understands exactly what you're going through or what you're thinking about. Um, so this isn't some inspirational thing either. I don't think I can even give anything inspirational at the moment. I haven't really done anything for myself to feel like I can inspire anybody. It's just kind of to talk, put it out there. If somebody can relate to it, if somebody can feel understood or can feel like they've been heard or can feel like their feelings are being portrayed, then that's good enough for me. And if nobody does, I guess that's good enough for me too. Nothing really changes at the end of the day. If nobody does hear this, my life will continue to be the same. Um, Maybe I'll talk about something more interesting the next time I upload, if I upload again.